Hi, I'm Angi and I have to tell you, I am hooked on slab ganache pralines. A few weeks ago I made this lemon thyme praline and it is so good. I have a link down below in case you wanna take a look at it. And yeah, so I thought we make something more fancy today. So we're making two layers. We're not doing only one layer, we're making two ganache. And one will be a berry ganache and the other one will be a rhubarb ganache. I actually wanted to make a strawberry rhubarb thing, but for that you would needed strawberries, and I forgot to buy any, and I only have berries at home. So I'm using raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries for the berry layer. And what I should mention, they are not super sweet, so I'm only using dark chocolate, but you could use maybe a white chocolate for the rhubarb and maybe a milk chocolate for your berries, or ooh, you know what you could do? You could also do like a mango layer and then maybe a passion fruit layer or something. Well, you know what I'm going for, right? So you choose your sweetness, your level of sweetness with your chocolate. Maybe add a little bit more of the glucose syrup if you want it sweeter. You'll figure it out. What I really like about these confections is that you don't need any molds. So basically what we're doing is we make two fruit ganaches, and for that we need fruit puree. For the fruit puree, I've been using frozen fruit. I just defrosted it in the microwave. I blended it, run it through a strainer, and that's our fruit puree. Then we make our ganache with the fruit puree, let it crystallize overnight, then we enrobe it in our chocolate, and then that's pretty much it. And obviously we also have to make them pretty and colorful, so we will make our own transfer sheets for them. In my first try a few weeks ago, I made some mistakes, and today I'm just hoping that I'll do a little bit better. Last time I made them too big, so today I want to make them smaller. I said that I wanted to get a dipping fork, which I don't have, so we stick to a normal fork. But my biggest issue was that the transfer sheet wasn't flush on the chocolate. So I really hope that with some adjustments, minor adjustments, I can really achieve a flush, even surface on top of my chocolate. So I hope I'm going to nail it, but we'll see. And another obvious thing, I probably will still make some mistakes, but yeah, let's just give it a go. I'm starting out with my rhubarb ganache. So here I have 72 grams of my rhubarb puree that I've made earlier. And now I'm adding 36 grams or milliliters of cream, tablespoon of glucose syrup, and now I'm letting this boil. And then here I have 120 grams of chocolate and 9 grams of cocoa butter. And now I'm adding the hot mix over my chocolate. So this is looking pretty good. It looks a little bit lumpy, and that's due to the rhubarb. I didn't sift the rhubarb. The ganache of the berries will look a little bit smoother. Okay, I think this is looking good. And now I'm adding 13 grams of butter and also let it melt in here. And then we go in with our immersion blender to make sure that everything is really nice and smooth. I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm adding a tablespoon of lime juice because I think rhubarb and lime and like everything acidic works really nicely. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here as well. And the first layer of ganache is already done. So here I have my container and I've lined it with parchment paper. And yeah, now we're just pouring it in and let it set in the fridge for maybe 1-2 hours before we pour over the other layers with the berries. So the two layers will not mix. And now we're doing the exact same thing with our berry puree. So here I have my 72 grams of berry puree, 32 milliliters of cream, and my tablespoon of glucose syrup. Then pour it over our chocolate, the 120 grams of chocolate, the 9 grams of cocoa butter. Then we mix it, add the butter, and then that's it. So it's exactly the same thing. So it's been about half an hour now or so. If you have more time to let this set, let it set a little bit longer. And now I'm just pouring over my berry ganache. And I'm just tapping it really slightly to even out the surface. And now that's done, and I let it set in the fridge overnight until the next morning. Now to the more fun and decorative part. Here I have my acetate sheet. I have a link down below where you can get it. And last time, I think one of my issues were that the sheet wasn't plain. So now I'm just adding some marks to weigh down the edges and just hope that everything will be more flat. And here are the colors I want to use. I haven't been using this forever, so I'm going to use that and the orange garnet, and then the other colors I made from scratch. I have a yellow, I have a couple of different oranges, and a purple. And I would like to start out with thick blotches with this white here. Oh shit. Okay. Great. I'll just continue and making splatters. Because I'm just continuing like that with the yellow now. And now with one of my oranges. It's more like a terracotta or something, but close enough. I'm just going in with this smaller brush now. I think it's doing pretty much the same thing. And now I'm waiting this to set, and then I will go over with my brush and this purple, and I'll just go over so everything is really nicely coated. And now I'm just going over it. A better brush would be something. Now I'm going to temper my chocolate because we need a thin layer of tempered chocolate on top of this transfer sheet. Okay, now I'm not entirely sure how to do this, but I guess I'm just giving some chocolate, pouring some chocolate over my transfer sheet. And now this time I actually have a pastry knife and just trying to create a really nice, even and flat surface. So last time I was using my brush and I think it created a really uneven surface. So this time I'm really trying to create an even surface so my end results look better and more even. Yeah, so now that's that. This needs to harden and our ganache needs to crystallize. So yeah, that's that for today, and yeah, see you in the morning. Here we are, it is the next morning. Here's our slab. And you can really see the two layers. Okay. Last time I really made huge chunks, so today I want to make them a little bit smaller. And I'm thinking about maybe 2.5 centimeters. So first I'm just cutting off like all of these edges here because they won't look good. We still work with them. I'm aiming for 2.5 centimeters. Okay. And I am cleaning my knife after each cut. Okay. So the thing is that my knife isn't long enough. And I'm just using my bread knife and I'm hoping, yeah, that works. It kind of works. They're square enough. And here is my transfer sheet from yesterday, and as you can see, it is not plain anymore. The chocolate curled up, and I think that's because when chocolate is properly tempered, it shrinks a little bit, and I think that's what caused it. Because yeah, the sheet itself was flattened all the time with the mugs. Yeah, but I think if we just take out this part here, we should be fine. Let me count how many squares we need. About 24. I'm not sure if we have enough. So what I'm doing now is I'm only cutting the chocolate. I'm not aiming for it's a little bit too thick here. So I'm not aiming for cutting the sheet itself. I'm not doing that. If we get 10 good ones, that would be good enough. Maybe my chocolate layer is too thick, I'm not sure. Let's see. If everything falls and breaks, then we know my chocolate is too thick. Because last time this was really no issue at all. Okay. Oh. Because those are really not neat at all. It is way too thick, the chocolate layer. Well, I guess that's probably the best one. I think color-wise and design-wise they look pretty good. But they will look not very even or nice on the chocolate, but next time we go again for the brush. And now I'm tempering my chocolate. And since I still don't have a dipping fork, I'm just using a regular fork. Take one of these, get them into my chocolate, tap, and then put them back in. And then I'm placing one of these on top. And repeat. And last time I mentioned I wanted to press down the plate a little bit more, so it is more even and flat, and I think this is working out pretty nicely. Alright, it took me about 15 minutes or so to make all of them. Yeah, some of them look pretty hideous. Some of them actually don't look too bad, but I would say we'll let those set now for the next 20 minutes or so here at room temperature. My kitchen right now has 17 degrees Celsius, and then I'll come back and we give them a try. Okay, and we are back. Let's see, which one are we trying? An ugly one. This one here is pretty ugly. And what you can do, by the way, if you have these feet, then you can just cut the edges with a knife. But yeah, let's wait. We also have to cut it open. Let's cut it open first. Ooh, do you see the two layers? It's looking promising. If you've seen my last video with the lemon thyme, you know that I really enjoyed those. And those are even better. I can't believe it. They taste absolutely amazing. Okay, I like that they're smaller. And you know what? There are no gaps. Those little plate thingies on top, they're absolutely flush. They sit flush on each single one of them. So that worked out pretty good. Here a tiny little bit, but I'm not bothered. That's a clear success. I don't really know what to say because, you know, they taste amazing. I think they look pretty cute. Yeah, I mean the cutting of the plates were pretty rough, I have to say that. But they taste amazing, they look okay. And a lot of the things that I wanted to do this time, in comparison to the last time, I did, and it worked out pretty well. So yeah, you need to make them. You need to make them. As always, thank you so much for watching. I want to see your photos. If you make them, send me your photos at Chocolate Spiel on Instagram. If you have questions, leave them down below in the comments. And what else? I think that's pretty much all. Have a good one. Bye.